What's your name?
Floyd Lemaster.
And what's your hometown?
My hometown where I grew up was Portland, Indiana, but I lived in Elkhart for 25 years.
Got it. And how did you first get connected with St. Mark's?
Through work release program.
Okay. I'm going to start out with a couple easy questions. First question is, what pastimes or activities do you have, hobbies, that cause you to lose track of time?
Most of my hobbies are really taking care of our yard, you know.
No? Gardening or just
Gardening, yeah, gardening.
Right. What do you grow?
Tomatoes, peas, carrots. We got habanero peppers, ghost peppers,
Nice.
things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite dishes to make with what you grow?
I don't cook.
All right. What do you
Yeah.
do with the veggies?
With the gardening,
Yeah.
we can a lot of it.
All right.
The
Yep.
majority of it.
My mom and dad, my grandma did a lot of canning too.
Yeah.
That stuff lasts for a
Yeah,
while.
my wife does it. She does a lot of canning.
What's your style? Because I know there are two different types of canning. There's pressure and then there's vacuum seal, I think.
There's what?
There's pressure cooker for canning.
She does it that way.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. That's a skill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a learned
She's been doing
skill.
it for a long time, yeah.
How'd you get taught?
Her mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of runs in the family.
Yeah.
It's a valuable skill to have. Now that we've gotten through some of the beginner questions, let's dive in. What's the story of where you've come from?
The story of where I come from. I grew up in a small town. Portland's a small town. I was a country kid. Ran track and cross country. Summertime, my parents had me go down south and live with my aunt and uncles
Your uncle
Raised-
being where?
in Madison, Indiana,
Okay.
which is very southern part of Indiana. We were tobacco growers.
Okay.
Spent that time doing that, living on a farm, both at my home and my summer home. Horses, cows, everything like that. That's how I grew up.
So you were on a farm most of your young life?
Country boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you live now? Is it still country?
Yeah. I live in Webster, Florida. It's about an hour past south of Ocala, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. We live in the country.
So you ended up in Elkhart County because of work release?
Yeah. When I first moved here, it's because when I graduated high school, my dad was already living up here working at Fairmont Homes. And then when I graduated high school, we moved up here. And then naturally, I just progressed into it, doing the same thing, working in trailer factories, in and out, everything. Got married when I was 23 and had two biological daughters.
Anything else about the story of where you come from?
Like I said, it's a small town. I have a lot of family there, both on mother and my father's side. I have a lot of family down there whom, I do miss. I get to see them once every probably other year or so. I make a trip back to see everybody. But it's not changed much at all.
Small town feel.
Yeah, it's probably the size of Bristol, maybe, if that.
It's a good comparison.
Yeah.
As far as the story of where you've come from, do you know where you see God in that story, or is that more of a question mark?
I grew up Catholic, and then when I got married, my father-in-law was the minister at Willowdale Church of Christ for 18 years. And I grew up in that church. That's where my strong foundation at the time came with God. I was treasurer of our church. I was working on being a bishop, in the church, deacon. But unfortunately, our marriage didn't last, and I moved on with life and got married again in 2001, and then that marriage went bad because we really weren't. We rushed into everything. Stayed in a church up in Detroit area. Lived up there for 6 years. And then I came back to this area to live, be close to my girls, things like that. And then when my father was killed, I moved to Florida to help with my mom.
Yeah.
And I met a fantastic woman down there who is now in my life, who supports me, encourages me, sets me on the right path in life. She does.
Where's the story of where you are right now?
I am in work release because of I got hurt years ago, and I got behind on my child support. You know, so everything I have back child support to pay, arrearage, and through my mistakes, I quit paying it for a while, and Elkhart brought me back here to do work release.
Got it.
And
do you happen to know where God is in your story currently, or is that a question mark?
no, after the last couple weeks, and now I realize that, you know, God sets us on our paths of where we're supposed to be. And by Him bringing me back here to face what I had to face, not only will I be free of the probation and my obligations, He has blessed me in so many ways since I have came back and put myself in front of Him to answer for what I was neglecting to do. You know, He made me answer and realize that I need Him in my life to do this.
I mean, you just told me today that He's also helping you along the way. You got a job that you're starting tomorrow.
Yes, it's a blessing. It's such a blessing. And I felt it last week. I know last week was a little more impromptu of a service, you know, not so.
Oh, that was our brunch, yeah.
But the lady with the brain tumor,
Angelica Ditmars.
that hit me.
If you weren't here this morning, she's doing okay with her surgery.
You know, it made me realize that what I see as problems, or what I see as my life is so bad, it's really not in comparison. And I am truly so thankful for what God has done to show me these last couple of days. I'm tearing up.
What's the story of where you want to go?
I am going to take this, and I know that when I am done with my work release and God's helping me through that, I'm going to take this into my life and show her when I get back to Florida that this is what has been missing in our lives to make it better, to be the leader and show her that I'm a godly man again, to lead our lives in the church and stand by God and trust in Him.
And with all that, imagine yourself 3 years from now. What stories do you think God will have told through you?
I think He's going to bless me more than I ever imagined.
And what roadmaps, and by roadmaps I mean mentors, role models, stories, ideas, books, roadmaps, have you been using for charting where God has taken your story? Where do you draw inspiration from?
I can answer that. When my dad was killed, at the time my dad was an associate pastor at his church, and it's something he wanted me to do to get back to God and do like I once told him. I wanted to be a youth minister.
What age range for the youth?
Huh?
What age range for the youth? Teen?
The young kids.
Young kids?
Yeah.
Middle school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you had unlimited time and resources, what would be the thing you would want to go build or serve or be involved with? What's your vision? What are you passionate about? What do you have a heart for?
A youth camp.
Youth camp?
Yep, a youth camp.
Where?
Huh?
Where?
In Florida.
Yeah.
A youth retreat, yeah.
Year round?
Huh?
Year round?
You could do that in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
year
true.
round you could do that in Florida.
All right. What would your youth camp look like?
Lake, have a lake, a beach, for your kids to swim, cabins. Cabins for, I say youth, but the adults, cabins for adults, teenagers, not just, and alternate them when they come, and not make, I wouldn't want my youth camp to be solely for my church. I would like it to be open to any denomination.
I know we answered this question a little bit earlier. Going back to where you've been, what are some of the ways you've been involved in serving God's mission here on earth? What are some lives that you've touched? You mentioned being involved in the Catholic community.
Well, the Church of Christ was really what I was involved in more. And while I was there, I taught kindergarten I was a class teacher, of younger kids. And that's probably what gave me my want to be a youth minister. Because I have a sense of humor, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I try to teach them to laugh. God's got a sense of humor too.
Yeah.